Hey guys, it's Scott. I just want to give you guys kind of a baseline on what I use for my detailing products. Behind me I got my 2011 Camaro. It's my baby that I try to keep perfect as much as I possibly can. I also do have a beater that was poorly taken care of as far as interior and exterior. So not only do I have two very different vehicles to show and try products on, I basically should be able to use stuff like, for example, if you're using like a carpet cleaner and you're trying to maintain your ride that you already keep super clean, not that good of a reference on if it's really effective for cleaning old crappy carpets, especially if you're a professional detailer. So I've kind of got two complete opposite types of vehicles that will help me to show you how effective those products are on either older or nicer, newer vehicles. So I'm going to walk you through everything that I use right now. Right now I use only really one brand, which is why I signed up for the detail box, so that I could try and expand and see if there's anything else that does the same but for cheaper. Alright, so I'm going to start over here with my buckets. I just got a regular bucket from Adams that I got with the detail kit I bought from them. The nice thing about this is I used to live in an apartment complex and it has a lid that you can screw on the top. That way if you can actually load water in here and soap and then bring it out and wash somewhere, because it does have a sealed rubber lid. I bought this second bucket obviously so I can do a 2-bucket wash system with my grit guards. So typically if I'm washing my car, that's what you'll see me doing, unless I'm cleaning the beater. Then I use crappy stuff like bath towels to dry it off with, or I'll use some of these cheaper surgical rags that I'm not worried about scratching stuff up, which is why I'd be using those rags. But anyways, some of the stuff that I use is this Daytona speed brush. I do have one of the speed sticks that Adams used to sell that attaches to a power drill. This works a lot better. It's a lot cleaner. It also bends a lot, so you don't have to worry about trying to break this if you're trying to get behind some of your rotors and stuff like that. But the one problem is that when you slide it in and you pull it back out, the bristles compress and then they'll splash brake dust all in your face. So that's not very fun, but once you use it for a while, you get aware of that. Two different types of brushes. These two brushes that I use. This one is for the face of the wheels and the rubber. This is for my fenders, and they're just nylon bristles. I'm not worried about scratching anything that these come in contact with. You can buy expensive boar hair brushes and stuff like that. I just never saw the purpose. Well, these do their job just fine. And then lastly in this bucket I've got a lug nut brush, which is practically necessary for any car with big rims. It really helps to get in there and make sure that your lug nuts look good, since this brush isn't going to be able to get into those fine crevices that this needs to. Plus this can also work around your brake pads and make it so that your calipers stay clean. Alright, so this is kind of a variety of stuff that I use. So here I've got I keep all my microfiber in plastic freezer bags like this so that it doesn't get dusty. The place that I live is a giant hunky piece of shit, so there's dust that blows everywhere. We constantly have 20 to 50 mile-an-hour winds, and it picks up dust, and there's dust everywhere. Like if I pulled my garage open right now, my car would be covered in dust in a matter of 5 minutes. So really necessary to have these. But I've got one older one that I use. Sometimes I'll use this if I'm working on the older car. And then I've got a new bug scrubber that I got from Walmart for like $2. That works really well when you're trying to get bug guts off of something that has been stuck on for a while. And then here I've got just a microfiber chamois type thing that I haven't used yet, so hopefully I'll get a chance to use that the next time I wash my car. I ordered a bunch of stuff from the rag company. If you've never been to the website, basically high quality, extremely high quality microfiber at an extremely cheap price. I haven't had any issues with any of their microfibers yet. Then I've got my 2 wash pads. These are both from Adams. I have a large one and a small one. If you watch any of their videos, they have really good detailing videos. They recommend using the large one for the upper half of the car that's not so dirty, and a smaller one for the lower half of the car, basically below the belt line. That way you don't induce scratches into the more visible portions of the car. Alright, next I'm going to walk you through my towels and microfiber. So again, I've just got crappy towels here, bath towels, that I use for my crappy car. And I've got just some cheap surgical rags that, just cotton rags that you can use for parts of your car that you're not worried about scratching up, like maybe if you have painted wheels, you don't want to use these, but if you have like powder coated rims, these would be great. So I got a bunch of rags from the rag company that I just got. These are all my like polishing microfibers. This orange one and this blue one are the exact same. They're edgeless, I think 16 by 16. And then I've got a single soft, 2 single softs from Adams in here. Honestly, I like these blue ones from the rag company a lot better, and they're a lot cheaper. As you can see, I've stocked up on them. There's about 10 of them in this bag right here. And then in here, I've got what I use for my interior. It's just a hodgepodge of different rags that don't really work too well with removing polishes, but they work pretty well on the interior of the car. Here I've got some applicator sponges. So I've got a waffle one like this. Sometimes this works for getting stuff off of the windshield. If I got bug guts or something on there that I want to get removed, the bug scrubber, I don't want to use it on the glass again, or if I'm just doing something simple. I got a small microfiber applicator pad right here, and then a larger one from Adams right here. I haven't tried this one, but so far I think this is a perfect size for an applicator pad. Got a bunch of glass towels. These are all Adams glass towels in here, but obviously they do exactly what they say. They don't have the plush microfiber. They basically just got a weave that helps pick up crap off the glass. I've got a machine polisher, so some of the stuff in here is for my machine polisher, like the microfiber pads for the Cyclo, the white pads, the orange pads for the cutting polishes right here, and then I have like a Americana Wax pad from Adams here. These are all Adams products. I've got 2 more microfiber cutting pads that I haven't used yet. I've also got a foam applicator pad. This is what I use for the black stripes on the Camaro or any vinyl. Basically you load it up with Adams VRT and then put it on your stripes, and it looks outstanding. It's got SPF in it. This also works on your tires as well. Here I've got that power stick that I mentioned. This is the thing that I basically use the Daytona speed brush instead of this. As you can see, it can go into a power drill, but it doesn't really have, it has a little bit of flex, but if you have a power drill going, it can actually snap it off if it gets stuck behind something. I've got 2 more applicator pads. These are specifically for hand polishing, and this one here is for a hand wax. Now right here, these are my 2 interior pads. So I'll load this up with my leather protectant, and I'll put this on the interior of my car, especially on my leather seats. Alright, lastly I got my hodgepodge of stuff in here. These are my primary drying towels that I use. They're massive Adams Great White waffle weave drying towels. They work absolutely amazing, and you can do an entire car with one of them if you have it waxed properly and a lot of the water sheets off. But usually you need 2 if you have a car that's not been waxed very well. Here I've got more of my waffle weave drying towel. 2 of the blue ones in here are from Adams. I got them with my detail kit, and the purple one here is from the rag company. This is just a smaller version of basically that Great White towel that I showed. These are some cheap microfibers I picked up at Walmart that are supposed to be for drying. Honestly, I've used them once and not been very happy with them, but they're in here in the event that I need to dry something off. and I basically dropped one of my towels and I just didn't have any left or something like that. I at least have something to dry my car with that's microfiber. And here I got a bunch of like chamois and stuff like that. They've all been garbage to me. They just work like crap and they don't hold any dirt, but if there's a piece of dirt that gets underneath here, you can expect scratches every place that this touches on your car. And this is just almost like a ShamWow type thing, but it's horrible. It doesn't absorb water well, and it just works very bad. Then I have a little interior California mini duster, but I use this only when I need to quickly clean the interior of my car, and I don't really have anything. Honestly, I barely use this, but I hate using this on the exterior of my car because this just induces more scratches. Alright, so before I go through all my other products that I use, I just wanted to show a few things that I missed out on. These are just cheap stuff that I got at AutoZone. Just basically a wash mitt here that's not very good. It's got cotton fibers in it, so I use this usually for my crappy car if I'm trying to wash it. Same thing with this. This is just a really soft cotton sponge. This sometimes I'll use for cleaning my rims, but that's really about it that I'll use this for. Alright, I got a cheap foam sprayer. I got this at I think Lowe's or Walmart or something, but it doesn't work very well. I'll load this entire thing up with shampoo and I won't even be able to cover the entire car with this. I really want to get a nice one. This is just kind of hold me over and also help prevent my car from getting scratches. This is the primary hose end that I use. I use also like a quick fastener grip so I can switch it off and reattach it real quickly if I need to change what I'm doing. So basically I use like a fire hose. This is a fire hose nozzle. It's made out of like aircraft grade aluminum. It's really nice, and it adjusts really well from a full fan to just a full direct stream of water. I got another one of these brushes in my detail bag, which I'll show in a second, but this is an interior cleaning brush, not for seats because it's a very hard carpet cleaning brush. This works wonders. I actually just pulled out the center console on my crap car, and this was able to scrub out almost everything in there, and it does it extremely well. It fits in your hand also really well. Alright, this is probably the highlight of my detailing stuff. I have a Cyclo 5 Pro. So I got this from Adams. It's got the Adams backing plates on it right now. You saw some of my polishing pads. This thing is just freaking phenomenal. It does take a long time to fully detail a car, but with this you've got two pads. Yes, they're only 4 inches each, but if you think about that, that gives you 4 inches by 8 inches of coverage on the entire car. So your work is a lot faster, but the nicest thing about this is that you can literally operate it like this. You can hold one hand on it and move it up and down the car without having to use a second hand. If you've used two other polishers that I've used, like the Flex or the Porter cable, those things vibrate like crazy, and actually you'll have to take a break because you'll be so exhausted. I'm not a scrawny dude, but it just makes it really nice that my wrists aren't sore when I'm done polishing my car. So again, this is the Cyclo 5. This thing is awesome, totally worth the money. Also, these last practically forever, and they have a lifetime warranty. So yeah, you're gonna drop about 300-ish bucks on it, but totally worth it in my opinion, especially the way your car will look after. All right, so everything that I've got is all down here. I'm gonna slowly pull it all out, but two of my favorite things, I've got my car shampoo soap here on a pump dispenser from Adams. As I mentioned, almost all my products are Adams, mainly because of their videos are amazing, and the support that you get from them is just awesome. Yeah, they're a little bit expensive, but as you can see, I have tons of gallons of stuff from them because that's the cheapest way to buy it. Yeah, you may not go through all of it right away, but if you're detailing your car at least once a month, you're definitely going to end up running through one of their smaller bottles, which I'll show in a second of that. The other one that I've got on a pump is Super VRT. Both of these are the only 2 gallons that I have that are a thick liquid and kind of hard to pour. So I have a little pump dispenser on them so they dispense easily. And also, if I'm getting my wash bucket ready, it's really nice and convenient to have the car shampoo right here rather than opening a bottle, pouring a little bit out of it in, and then having to refill it every couple of washes. I just got it directly from the gallon. 2 other cool things that I've got before I break into the products is I've got 2 Quasars. I believe these are 1.5 liters. They're absolutely awesome. So I'm just going to waste some product here, but whatever. So you push and it sprays like a normal spray bottle, but then you release and it sprays again. So it saves you a whole lot of time. The mist is a lot finer than some of the other spray-ins that I use, but it's totally worth it. Like my detail spray, I went through one of these entire things detailing my car. I would have had to refill my other bottle about 3 times in order to do that amount. Plus, it's just really nice to have that double spray feature, especially because you don't have to depress it all the way. You can just quick shots back and forth, and that way you can control the amount of product that you're putting on, rather than getting to the point where you pull it in and you're done, and then you let go, and then you just spray a whole bunch of extra product you didn't need. Alright, so use my, of course, alright, so here's my detailer bag. It's an Adams bag. I got it from one of my friends, actually gave it to me for free, so that's why I've got all my stuff in here. But I do have an invisible glass cleaner. If you have a Camaro or any sports car that has lots of glass that is in very narrow angles, this is necessary. Otherwise, you're going to be using the spatula and throwing a microfiber on it to try and clean your car. This just makes it a lot easier. So I'll just go through my products one by one. First off, I've got a carpet and upholstery cleaner. That's really what it is. It works really good. It's not the most amazing carpet and upholstery cleaner that I've used. I'm actually probably going to show you guys how well this works. I have a coffee stain in my beater car. Not going to explain how that got there because it'll piss me off too much, but if this can remove those coffee stains, this will probably win out against any products that I'll be using in the future. But if not, then I'll definitely be looking for something else. Next is Adams Glass Cleaner. This is probably my least favorite product I've ever used from Adams. So it doesn't clean the glass extremely well. It sometimes can leave smudges and streaks. If you have a wet rag and you're using this, your glass is going to look like garbage. As you can see, it's kind of like milky, colorish. I think that's some of the soaps that are in there. But the thing is that it actually I honestly believe that contributes to a lot of the haze that I get on my glass when I'm done. They have reformulated this, so this is not their current stuff. This is their actually version 1, I guess, of their glass cleaner. The version 2 is supposed to be a lot better, but again, I only have version 1. Alright, detail spray. I don't know if I really need to explain this too much. It's awesome. It smells like bubble gum. This is probably the greatest thing from Adams. It's almost like a liquid type wax. I don't want to say it's a wax because it doesn't protect your paint, but it gives it the shine that a wax typically does. Goes on really easy. You can use it for practically anything. But yeah, it's awesome. Alright, undercarriage spray. This was one of those things that I thought was a gimmick. I wasn't sure about it, and I got it just to try it out. Well, I sprayed it under my undercarriage before I went on like a 14-hour road trip to keep any crap and mud out from underneath my wheel wells and keeping them looking clean. Well, my wheel wells are pretty much invisible, and this is pretty much what the point of this is. It makes your wheel wells look invisible. If you have a high lifted truck or something like that, this is necessary. It'll make that black plastic inside look like it's brand spanking new, and that you put like a clear coat over the top of it. That's how awesome this stuff is. It smells like grape, but it's extremely effective and makes anything that's like flat black in your wheel wells and stuff like that look good. Alright, next is my leather conditioner. I put this on my seats in my Camaro, and I've never had any rips, tears, nothing, anything like that. And owned my car for about 3.5 years now. I wish I could try this out on a vehicle that has worn out seats but aren't ripped yet and see if it makes a good effect, but I've never had a car like that, so I haven't been able to figure that out. But it smells like brand new car. It smells like brand new leather, so even if you put it on your car, the interior of your car is going to smell brand new, and obviously it'll be nice and clean. Car shampoo, I already kind of explained that, but this is an amazing car shampoo. There's a lot of people who this is practically the only Adams product that they use. That's how good it is. It suds up really well, smells really good, and you only need a tiny amount to actually get a lot of good suds. Super VRT, this was probably the first product I fell in love with, mainly because of how it makes my black stripes look. It's amazing. You put it on, and then you knock it down with a microfiber polishing pad, and it looks great. The one problem with this is that dirt loves to stick to it. It won't start piling up, but after a week, your places that you put this on are going to have a lot of dirt on it compared to the rest of your car. So that is one negative, but again, they're vinyl stripes. You can use some of the waterless wash and wipe that stuff away, and then reapply this on. Alright, next is In and Out spray. This is like the aerosol version of VRT. You spray it on like a honeycomb grill or something like that where VRT can't really get, or it's going to be messy, and this instantly turns that black plastic to a flat black. It's pretty cool. I've gone through 1.5 cans so far, so this can's about half full. So I've used it enough. This is the newest product that I've used from Adams, Total Interior Detailer. So usually, or before, you used to have to take their interior cleaner, clean your interior, and then you would put the leather conditioner on your black plastic and stuff like that. This is nice because it's it's quick and it cleans your entire interior. It makes a slight gloss. I don't want to say it's glossy because it really isn't, but it makes your plastic look new. That's really what this does, and cleans it at the same time. I don't think it's as good as the actual interior cleaner at cleaning stains and stuff like that, but if your car's already clean, basically like my Camaro is, this is amazing. I would probably never use this on the Saturn unless I'm trying to sell it and I need to clean it after a week of people getting in and out of it. Then I probably would do this. Next is a green wheel cleaner. I'm going to show you guys kind of what Adams did, and they tried to replace this with another product that I really don't like. This is just a clear wheel cleaner. It works amazing on brake dust. You put it on there, you scrub it around for a little bit, and all the crap that's on your rims is gone. It works awesome, and it really takes only a little bit of effort to get rid of the brake dust. Alright, all-purpose cleaner. That's exactly what it is. It's an all-purpose cleaner. I have a microfiber cleaner, but before, this is what I used to clean my microfibers. It worked really well. It also works good on practically anything else. Again, it's an all-purpose cleaner, so what else do you expect it to do? But mainly it's a degreaser is the best way to describe it. I usually use it on the rubber on my tires to pull any tar or crap or anything else that's got on my rim since the last time I washed it, as well as remove any glossy dressing that's been on it before. This also works great on the engine bay if you're trying to move any stubborn stains or oil, dirt, whatever it may be. This is the first that I've actually gone through an entire gallon of in a very short period of time, because this is how much I use it, not only in my car, around the house, but for other things as well. Alright, the last few things in here, I've got some little interior detailing brushes. I haven't actually used any of these, but these are for vents or small crevices in places you're trying to get your car in perfect condition on the interior. These are practically a must. They're just like giant Q-tips. I've got another one of those foam pads that I showed you guys earlier. I have the Americana Premium Paste Wax. I haven't used a lot of this, mainly because the way that the environment is here, if I clean my car and then I put a wax on it, I've got to almost immediately put it on there, do it real quick and take it off. It just doesn't give me enough time because of the, like I said, the environment here and all the dirt and dust. So I like to seal my car first, which takes a lot of time, and then put this on, which I just sealed my car for the first time and put a coat of this on here. But this entire thing will last forever. There's most people who they wax their car once a month and they have this last about 2 to 3 years. It's relatively expensive. I want to say it's about $70 for this whole thing, but again, pretty much everybody who buys this says that it's totally worth it. There's also a smaller version of this if you ever want to try their wax for a little bit cheaper of a price. Alright, glass sealant. So I mentioned sealant. This is awesome mainly for if you're going on long road trips and you know it's going to be raining. Put this on your glass and you can basically drive without your windshield wipers. It's pretty awesome, especially if you're driving at fast speeds. Alright, I've got my tire brush. As I mentioned, I use VRT on my tires to make them look nice and flat black. This applicator works a lot better than the foam pad. I personally used the foam pad for almost a year when I first had my car. And then I decided that I was going to try this out, and this worked a whole lot better. It got a nice clear coat all over the tire. It didn't have any oozing onto my rims or anything like that. Plus, I feel like this used the VRT a lot more effectively. I could put less on here and get on my entire tire versus the giant foam pad. It took a little bit more product to get over the entire tire. Alright, I got clay. I'm actually not even using Adam's clay in here. I've got some cheap Mcguires or Mother's clay, I think, that I bought. Clay is clay. People say that, oh, it's 100% clay, blah, blah, blah. If I can find it, I still got the whole clay that I got from Adam's that was in this that I haven't even used yet because the Mother clay I bought was just dirt cheap. And I haven't broken into this yet, so really I don't think there's going to be a difference between the two because clay is clay. But once this is completely used up, I'll break into this and maybe see if it does something different. Lastly, I've got my leather interior brush. So this is just a softer kind of boar's hair brush. To clean leather, so you're not using that harsh brush on your leather and then causing rips or tears and stuff like that in there. So anyways, this is my entire detailing bag. I'm going to run through the other stuff that I have that I haven't gone through, just other products here and there, just to show what I got. But everything that's within this bag is like the core of all my detailing. Almost anything that I need to do in my car, with the exception of using my machine polisher and those polishes and stuff like that, I keep within this bag. So if I'm going to pull my car out, wash it, and maintain its perfection, all the products that are in here are going to be necessary for me to do that. Alright, I'll show you what else I got. Alright, so I've got a bunch of other stuff to show you. Again, this is not the core of my detailing products. These are products that I use here and there, maybe with the exception of 1 or 2 that I just don't keep in my detailing bag, that if I go somewhere, if I need to do something in my car, I won't need it. But first of all, I'm going to break into the Adams Microfiber Revitalizer. So for a long time, Adams was getting tons of questions about, hey, how do I wash my microfibers, how to maintain them, blah, blah, blah. There are about 10 different methods of people trying to tell people how to do this. And so they decided to come out with their own spray detergent that would fix that problem. Honestly, I was thinking this was going to be a gimmick because I was using one of the most common methods, which was basically use a scentless, colorless detergent on your microfiber and they'll come out practically brand new every time. Well, they didn't. A lot of the stains that were on there never came out, no matter how hard I tried to get them out. I used all-purpose cleaner, scrubbed them down, washed them, they wouldn't come out. I tried this on them immediately after I got this, sprayed each of the stains down, just rubbed them a little bit, and then threw them all in the wash, added about an ounce of this, where you're supposed to put 2 ounces of this with the normal wash, but I probably used an ounce on all the microfibers. They came out practically brand new. There may be a couple stains here and there, but most of them were brand spanking new, as if I had just bought them. So I'm a total believer in this. I have an entire gallon of it as well. Surprisingly, I haven't gone through as much as I thought I would, because I went through my all-purpose cleaner like crazy when I was trying to clean my microfibers, and I've probably used about 50% of the all-purpose cleaner that I've used on that same amount of microfibers I was trying to clean. Alright, I'm going to mention this because I just used this yesterday. So this came with that clay that I bought, the Mother's Clay. So this is Showtime. It's basically like a quick detailer, just like detail spray from Adams. It has a cinnamon spray smell to it. The problem is, I sprayed this on my car, used a plain microfiber. I tried to wipe some stuff off, and what happened? Oh, I got scratches on my car. So this is a piece of shit. I just want to probably throw it out, but I'm going to give it another chance. Maybe there was some dirt that got blown into the sprayer and it just ended up getting sprayed on my car. Maybe, but yeah, not happy with this. Alright, I've got some Adams Revive polish. This is one of those hand polishes that you use. I never saw any benefit to this, so as you can see, it's practically full. Haven't used much of it. Haven't really seen a good result. I don't even know why they sell this anymore unless people want a hand polish that doesn't do very well, and even if you talk to the Adams salespersons, they'll tell you that it'll take you about 1,000 hours to get the same result you get in a minute with a machine polisher. So what's the point of this? Alright, there's metal polish number 1. I'm going to shake it up because it's separated and it typically separates. I've used this on a few things and it does pretty well. There's also a metal polish number 2, but I've never had anything that's so oxidized that I needed to use another metal polish. But anyways, it comes in a little tiny bottle like this because you don't really need to use a lot. And most people don't have a lot of metal on their car that they need to make sure that it maintains it from getting oxidized. Alright, I'm going to walk through the 2-step paint correction system that Adams uses. So I showed you my pads, so the orange pads go with the orange paint correcting polish. So you use this to remove scratches from your car. One of the guys was saying that this is like equivalent to 6,000 grit sandpaper to remove scratches from your car. And then you follow it up with the paint finishing polish. This is basically a 8,000 grit sandpaper equivalent that you would use. Granted, those numbers are rough estimates, and this is just from somebody trying to explain to people that polishing breaks down your clear coat. It's not some magic that fills in the scratches. It's actually removing clear coat and making it a smooth surface again. So again, you finish it up with this. Most of the times, it looks really good after this. This just basically makes it where it makes it a little bit finer, and it's a lot harder to see a lot of more insignificant scratches. So usually when I'm done that, I'll finish up with my paint sealant. So that's this. This actually has a black licorice smell to it. I hate black licorice, so this isn't a pleasant smell, but Adams tries to keep most of their stuff smelling good, so that when you're using it, it doesn't smell like chemicals. It's a pleasant smell to be around. But paint sealant here is awesome. I mean, I put a rag on the top of my car and it falls off onto the ground. That's about how smooth of the surface this makes. If you have a garage clean, this will probably last you about 6 months, but they recommend that you put sealant on quarterly. If you don't know what sealant is what goes on in your car after you've perfected it, and then it's almost like a man-made coat of wax that goes over the car to protect it from the elements and keep it looking perfect. You can follow this up with a wax, like I mentioned, the Americana wax, and give it that extra pop. You can also use what Adams has, which is called their Brilliant Glaze. This is not a protectant, it's not a wax. This is just to make your car shine as much as physically possible. This would be if you're going to take your car to a show where you just basically want to show off how awesome your car looks. This adds that extra nice looking, making your clear coat look like it's deeper and your paint's wet to it. Alright, I've got some Adams Buttery Wax. I used to use this before I had Americana because I couldn't afford the Americana at $100 for the entire thing. So I bought this, which was like 15 bucks, something like that. It's a hand wax. Honestly, I don't really like it anymore now that I've got my Americana. What's the point of using this? but I use this usually on like cheaper, crappy cars that I want to make look good or protect a little bit more so than what I'm going to get with just washing it. Let's see. I've got some Mcguire's Quick Glass Cleaner. I prefer this to the Adams Glass Cleaner, but I have almost an entire gallon left of the Adams Glass Cleaner, so I'm trying to find excuses to use it. And this I haven't used in a while, but I really do prefer this stuff to the Adams Glass Cleaner. Alright, I got RainX. What person doesn't have RainX in their stash of stuff somewhere? This is almost just like the glass sealant that I use. Sometimes I'll try them both out at the same time. Honestly, I see a negligible difference between the two. And they both last about the same amount of time, so just this is really like a glass sealant. Mcguire's Ultimate Quick Wax. When they first came out with this, I actually got a sample of it. It was back when I was 18. I don't know how I got a sample of it, but I did. And I tried it on my car, and it was the biggest piece of shit I ever used. I sprayed it on my car like it instructs, and it did nothing. It left nothing behind. It didn't leave any wax at all. It was basically worthless. Plus, it was pretty hard to work in, surprisingly. Anyways, this is just crap. I got this because I got like a Mcguire's pack that was $20. It was normally like $60, and I got it for $20 on clearance, and this was one of the things in there that I obviously still have because I didn't like using it. Next is Eagle One Wax You Dry. This is another thing that I got a sample of when I was 18 and tried it on my car for the first time. This worked, kind of. Not very well though. I have some of it just because I wanted to show somebody, like, they were using this and they were adamant about it, and so I bought some just so I could show them how crappy this stuff is, and I still have it lying around, obviously. Alright, Adams Leather and Interior Cleaner. I actually just got done using this, cleaning this. I pulled out the center console on my piece of crap car because I needed to fix some stuff, and I just cleaned the entire center console because it was disgusting, and used this, and this cleaned out a ton of the crap that I couldn't get out before. This is awesome, absolutely awesome. I'm actually running really, really low on it. I need to probably go out and buy another gallon of this, but I'm waiting to hopefully get maybe a sample that I can try out and extend the life of this, and also find if there's something better out there for me before I go out and spend like 40 bucks on a gallon of it. By the way, this is different than the carpet and upholstery cleaner. This you obviously use on plastic interior pieces and leather, whereas the other you obviously use, again, on upholstery and carpet. But some people get confused with that a lot. Alright, this is another one of the newest products I have from Adams. I used it on one tire and was not happy with it, so I haven't used it again. I had about a week's worth of brake dust on my car, almost 1,500 miles of brake dust on my car, and I put this on there and I still had to scrub my wheels. That's one of the things that this mentions, is you spray it on and you literally just rinse it off and it's done. Not true at all. My rims still look like shit, and so I ended up going back with a green wheel cleaner, and then my rims looked great after that. So this is not for me, but I'm going to give it another try to see if it was actually just something that was going on, that it couldn't get some grease off there or something. Mcguire's wipes, these are great, but now that I have that total interior detailer, this kind of has been replaced, especially because these are kind of dry. I was employed for a long time, so these were in storage and these are really dry now. But I have them. There's a little bit of product left on there. I'll spray some interior detailer on it to try to make this last a little bit longer, but it does provide too much gloss than I like, but it's better than nothing, and it's quick and it's easy. Mcguire's Styrofoam. This I got mainly because if I'm trying to sell a car, I'm going to put this on the car. Why? Because those tires look brand spanking new and they look awesome. Would I put this on my Camaro? Hell no. This stuff slings all over your paint. It attracts so much dust, dirt, crap, and everything like that, that after like a day or two, that your car is gonna look like shit. That's why I use the VRT. The VRT is awesome, and all it does is it just breaks down. It has that SPF in it, and once the SPF is broken down, it breaks down, you can reapply, no problem at all. It's dry to the touch when you're done. This, on the other hand, is not like that at all. I don't like this very much. Again, I would only use this on a car I'm trying to sell to make those tires look brand spanking new and make the car look like it's been completely detailed when I really only spent a little bit of time on it. This is one of the products that I actually used on the older car that I had. So I have a silver Saturn. I had a green Saturn before. I used it to get some really bad stains out of there, and this worked. I'm actually going to try this and the other, and maybe if I get a product in my detail box, use this and try all three and see which one is most effective. As you can see, this is basically like cheap carpet cleaning crap. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for this. Even though it says $2 rebate, it basically made it free. If I remember correctly, because it was $1.98, but I never used the rebate because this thing was only freaking $2. And so I'm going to probably compare some stuff and see really what works. Because if you can get a cheap can of a whole bunch of crap like this for $2, not really worth buying some carpet and interior cleaner. This is another thing that I'm going to try out on my Saturn. I've heard lots of methods about how to restore your headlights. Up until now, I haven't had a machine polisher, so I'm actually going to try this, and then I'm going to use a machine polisher on the other side and basically see which one works best. Because you can get these cheap little quick kits at Walmart for relatively cheap, but if you have a machine polisher, is it worth going out and buying this, or should you just use the stuff you already have and polish your headlights for yourself? So I'm gonna check that out and basically do a review or comparison between those two. But anyways, that is the extent of all my detailing products as of right now. It is early May of 2014, so if you see any videos later on where I'm talking shit on Adams and how shitty Adams is, well, this is where it all started. But if you guys have any products that you use that you really, really like, put them in the comments below, and I'll check them out. If you want to watch any of my other videos, I've got a ton of subscription videos that you can check out. Mainly they're for men's grooming or clothing. But since there's only really one detailing box I can review, here it is, and I will hopefully bring you guys more of the detail box. Thanks. Bye.